Hello, and welcome to another day of exciting Java course. And okay, I think everybody will come back. And yesterday, if I remember correctly, we have learned. I'm really sorry, I couldn't get well. Give me a Okay. Yes, we have learned how to use if-else statements, and when there's a fork in the code, we should use if statements. If the value is higher than something, for example, 50, if the value is higher than 50, the code will go that way. If it is lower than 50, the code will go this way. You can use this system in rocket science to, when you create a rocket, let me clear it. I couldn't draw it well. When you build a rocket, if the speed is below than 50, higher the power, you should use more power. And if it is, let's say, higher than 80, you should lower the power. Something similar, as you can see. Even though it's a rocket science, still you have to use if-else statements. Whenever you have a fork in your coding, you have to use if. That's all. That's the statement. And we have tried to solve a few questions. We have learned equal to symbol, not equal symbol. To understand equality, we use equal symbol. If you want to check something, if you want to check not equal, you should use an exclamation mark before the equality symbol. And we have also touched and operators. And operator is a perfectionist. Everything should be right for the result. If everything is right, if everything is true, the result will be true. Otherwise, even one mistake can destroy everything. It was like just a product or a multiplication. All of them should be one for the result to be one. If there is only 1 0 in it, the result will be, no matter what, it will be 0. We have also learned the difference between an and operator. They do the same thing, but and operator is a little faster than the single one, and a little more advanced than the other one. And the reason is and operator, when it faces one false, for example, let's say this is true, and the last one is false. It won't check the last one because if there is one false, the result will be false. But when we use single AND operator, yes, it will check the statements. And as you can see, the second one is false. Even though the result is clear here, it will be false. AND operator checks all of them. Until it checks all of them, it does not go to the result. So the first one can find the result at the third step, but the single one cannot find the result unless it checks all the statements. That's the main difference between them. OR operator, this is very close to my character. OR operator is something like positive guy. No matter what happens, if something is right there, it will tell you, oh, relax, man, everything's all right. OR operator is optimistic, a positive guy. If there is only one right in the calculation, it will say it is all right. Let's say true, false, 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 another false. The result will be true. Don't worry, there is one through there. It doesn't, the place of the through does not matter here. It can be anywhere. As long as there's one through, the result will be through. Because of this character, it's very like it is like to addition calculation. You know, when we use plus one, there if there is one plus between zeros, the result will be one. As long as all of them is not zero, the result will be through. And yes, we have covered that part, but one of the most important topics in Java is if statements. Yes, there are a lot of different versions of if statements, but everything starts from here. If statement is like a fork, you know, if something is like that, go that way. If it is like this, go that way. If x is higher than 50, execute this code. If it is lower than 50, execute that code. If it is false, go that way. If it is true, execute this code. That's all. The logic is like this. When you want to create a fork like this in your coding, if you want to do different, if you want to execute different code in different situations, you should use if statements. And we have learned them, so I will pass them. We solved a few questions. And we have also learned if-else statements. We were trying to solve a lot of questions so we can understand it. Practice is the best teacher, if you ask me. You should do practice yourself. If you do not write the questions, try to solve the questions yourself, I assure you, you won't be able to learn it. As a coder, you have to touch keyboard with your fingers. When you watch sport video, it is not enough to lose weight. So we were creating the package of today, day 06, if-else statements. And let's create today's first class. And it will be C01 questions, if else questions. Okay, we are ready, and I will write the main method. I couldn't. I did now. And we will continue from here. So let's check the questions. Blah, 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 a lot of blah, blah, and the question, of course. Let me check what we have solved yesterday. Retirement. Okay, let's solve a question from here. They will be similar to if questions, if you can remember them. Let's try to solve this one. First question says, first get three side length of the triangle, and we will take it from user. If it is equilateral, if all the sides are equal, we will print this. Otherwise, print not equal. It's very important to understand the question. If you can understand it, it means you have already solved half of it. Understanding a question is very important. And now the hardest part, I will try to find the question in the slide. Here it is, I think. No, it is not, of course. Okay, I think I found it. No. Okay, I did. I'm not sure if you are using Slack channels, so I will share it from the Zoom channel, the question I mean, and I will try to solve it in IntelliJ. I have already created the main method, and the question is a long one. Let's make it shorter. These are the steps. First, we will get three variable value from user. If you are getting something from user, scanner. And there are three steps for that. Scanner object, inform user, and store the data entered by the user. Scanner, scan, new scanner system.in. I feel like I am singing. Oh, wrong symbol. Okay, let's inform user. So please enter first site. And of course, when user sees that, he or she will enter a value. And let's store it. Integer first site, first length, or whatever we say. Scan.nextInt. It will take it from user and store it into the first site. Another one, system. Let's inform user that we are asking for the second length. Please enter second length or site. Integer second site equals to scan.nextInt. Third one, it is very similar. So please enter third site integer. It's very hard. Third site equals to scan.nextInt. Pardon me, I sneezed and I did not want to disturb you. Okay, we have our values. We have completed the first step. We have all the sites we need. First I want to explain what we should do. If the statement is here, if all the sites are equal, you will do that. Otherwise means else, right? Else, do that. If they are equal, we will print that. Else, we will print that. That's the logic. Well, let's start. If. Now I have my first if statement, and I cannot write it like this. Let me write it instead of explaining. Equals second one equals third one. I cannot write it like this. You can use only two data to check if they are equals. So if you want to add another one instead of equality symbols, you need to use and. First side should be equal to second side, and second side should be equal to third one. That's all. With the numbers, if the first side is 3, second side should be also 3, right? Because they should be equal. And I know second side's value is 3. So third side should be equal to the second side. So as you can see, when we write it like this, to be able to see true result, all of them should be equal. If they are all equal, I will write something. I will write, where is it? Here it is. Start, blah, blah. Otherwise, else comes here. I will write something else. Where it is? Okay. Now, as you can see, we have completed first code in less than 15 minutes. Let's run it. And in that time, I will take a sleep. It is boiling. It says please enter the first floor. Sorry, 15. Second one is also 15. And third one is 15. It says everything is okay. Now, let's change the values. 15, 16, 17. As you can see, it's working as I ordered. The important part is understanding where to use what. I could be able to understand that I need to get three different values from user here. If all of them are equal, I will print this. Otherwise, else I will print that. I hope I could be able to explain. So if we don't have any question, I will continue. Do we? It seems like we do not. So I will try to solve another one. Let's check the questions. Question 4 is a very good one. The logic is very good. Ask the user to enter a character, print whether entered character is uppercase or not. As you can see, if it is uppercase, we will write it. If it is not, we will not do anything. Or we can print or not. Oh, we should create else situation too. If it is uppercase, we will print uppercase. Else, we will print it is not an uppercase. Okay. Now let me take the question from the slide, and I will also share it from the Zoom channel. I believe no one is using Slack until now. If you are, please write something there. I couldn't be able to see any comment there, so I'm not sure. Let me check one more time. Still nothing. Okay. For the second question, I will open another class, CO2 if else statements. Any questions? And the question is this. These are the steps. I have forgotten to create main method, so I will create it. This is a comment. It is like it is not there, so don't worry. It does not matter where it is. Yes, we will ask user to enter a character. Character means user should enter only one character. If it is one character, it means we will use char. And if there is char, it means high possibility, and it is high possibility, perhaps, I'm sorry. When we use char, it means we will be using char table, ASCII table, sorry. Most of the time, if you use char, it means you will use ASCII table. I mean, values of the characters. Well, let's cover the question step by step. First, we will get data from user, and we will complete 3 steps. Create scanner, inform user, store the data. Scanner, scan, new scanner system.in. We did it. Let's inform. So please enter a char. Okay, we did it. Let's store it. I want to store a char. Okay, it will be equal to. if I am taking a data from user, I have to use it like this, dot, but I do not have next char. So, I have to write it like this, then char at 0. It means it will take the first letter, whatever user enters. Even though he or she writes a long sentence, it does not matter because this code will take on the first char. Okay, char characters have a tendency to act like numbers. If you know that, you can write if statements. Otherwise, it will be very hard. This is the char value that user entered here. So, if the char is smaller, let's say smaller or equal to, or I will write higher or equal to A, this is a number, it's a char. I'm using it with a math calculation symbol. It means it will act like a number. And if I go back here, if I write it, I will be able to see a lot of documentation. And where's the lowercase a? It starts with 97. I mean, if it is higher than 97, it means it is after this line, after this 97. And to be a letter, it should be also lower than 122. And at the same time, the character user entered should be lower or equal to Z. If the char value is between those numbers, it means it is a lowercase. As you can see, if user enters L, the value will be 108. And at the same time, it is higher than 97 and lower than 122. If it is in this range between those numbers, it means it's a lowercase. Instead of characters, I can also use numbers here, but characters, when we use characters, I think it is easier to understand. If it is a lowercase, print whatever is entered, characters uppercase or not. If it is a lowercase, I will print lowercase, or we can also use capital values. So right now I have to write thought it is a capital uppercase because it is between capital A and capital C. Z. Else, if it is not between those values, it means it can be anything. So I can only write it is not an uppercase. It is not an uppercase. I will take a pencil now. When I use capitals, the limit is after 65 and until the 19. If the character user entered is between those numbers, it means it's a uppercase, as you can see. If it is somewhere else, if user entered another value, it can be a number, a symbol, or lowercase. We do not know that. We only know that it's not a uppercase. That's all. Okay, we got it. I hope we could be able to understand this part. We are going to solve some other questions. I want to solve a test before everything else, but let's do it after the break time. After the break time, we will have a test, and for each question, I will give you 1 minute, and you will try to solve them. Until the second lesson, let's try to solve another question. Okay, can solve. I'm not sure. Oh, we have solved this one, right? Let's choose another one. Yes, it says get a note from user printing past the key class if it is higher than 50, and sorry, failed if it is less than 50. Normally we have used two if statements to solve this question, but this time I will use if else statement. If it is higher or equal to 50, it will say pass the class, else failed. We do not need to use another if statement there. Let me show you the previous question that we solved. It showed me somewhere here. It was one of the first questions. I think. No. Nope. No. Oh, here it is. As you can see, we have used two different if statements. First one was checking if the mark is higher or equal to 50. And the second one is checking if it is lower than 50. But I can do the same thing. If it is not higher or equal to 50, it means it's lower than 50. So actually, I do not need to create another if statement here. Instead, I could use if else statements. Let's do that. I will take this part and I will change it a little after creating the question, of course. CO3 if else questions. Main method, and we are ready to solve the question. Otherwise, okay, let's do that. First, we need to get data from user. So it means we should use scanner. Scanner, scan, new scanner, student.in, not G. And let's inform user. Please enter your mark. Okay, let's save it somewhere. Integer mark. Scan next thing. We are ready. We have the mark. Now I have to create the statements. If it is equal or higher, we will print something. If mark is higher or equal to 50, let's print the pass the class. So pass the class. Else, if it is not higher or equal to 50, so well, oh, it should be like it's asked. Failed. It was very fast, as you can see. We didn't waste any time here. We could be able to solve it in a few minutes. So I can bring something down. Do you have any question for me? I will check. Some channel, nothing. Slack channel, still nothing. Then continue. Please, without any hesitation, you can ask your questions. I can speak Turkish and English. I can understand if you think if you talk French or if it is Japanese, I would love to talk with you. But still, I am learning Japanese, of course. No question. I thought there are 4 different languages, but still no question. Okay, it means I could be able to cover everything. I will take credit from this. I hope it's like this. The next question is coming. Let me check. I will use a same question to explain something. It is not very important, but we should know it too. I will copy it and paste it to new question. CO4 if else questions. And I will pass the question with the solution. You know, same question, but if it was like this. As you can see, after the if statement, I have used curly brackets, and after else, I did same thing. If I delete them, what would happen? Java is not complaining, as you can see. It says it will work. And if Java says that, believe me, it will work. Let's run it. First side. Oh, no, sorry, not that one. I want to run it from here. It was from the previous question. Now it's asking for my mark. I will write 51. Yes, I did it. I passed the class. You know, as you can see, this number is my favorite one. So it's working as you can see. Let's try to use a lower number. You know, we are testers. Testers, we should test everything. 15, it says sorry failed. It's working. But how is it working? Because I have deleted curly brackets. You know, if else statements can accept only one sentence after them. One sentence, one line means the code starts and ends with semicolon. If I wrote something else here, so please teach us, it won't work because for the Java, if statement is until here. After that, it is not about if statements because we haven't used curly brackets. If you don't use curly bracket, if else statements can take only one line. So you should work harder. You know, now it is after the else. And actually, you should know that this line is not a part of else statement. Let me show you. Normally, if it was part of the else statement, it wouldn't work if first statement is correct. Let me show you. $55. It says you passed the class, but you should work harder. Interesting. I already passed the class. I will take 100 points right now. I will take the perfect point, but it says you should work harder. Let's do a negative test. I will take this much or this much. You have failed. You should work harder. So what I'm trying to say, no matter no matter if the statement is true or false, this code will be executed because we haven't used curly brackets here. After if, it can run one line. After else, it is same. It can only run one line if you do not use curly brackets. But I always use curly brackets. So when I do that, I can use more than one line. If the statement if the statement was right now, we won't see any else statement sentences. Let me write it. I will use 55, and it's higher than 50. So on the first code will be executed. If I do minus negative test, I will be able to see two of them. Right, two, and as you can see, it is working perfectly fine. Shortly, let's write it. After if and else statements, if we do not use curly brackets, system can only accept one. Oh, it's not only. But again, not that one. Where is that? Okay, accept one sentence until the semicolon. Symbol. I hope it's clear. I've tried to explain it. If you have any question, I would love to answer them. Okay, we did solve a lot of different questions. Let's try to solve a long one. I will try to solve something I haven't before. So not that one. What about this? Where it is? Okay, I found it. Sorry for the delay. I will create another class. I hope we could be able to solve it in time. We have 12 minutes. CO5 if else statements. Questions. Before everything else, I need to create main method. And the question is coming. Take a letter from user, and if there is a month starting with that letter, if there is a month starting with that letter, print it. I can use a lot of if statements to solve this, and it will be a little long, but don't worry, I will try to handle it. First, we need to understand the logic. We will take a letter from user. That's the first step. Scanner, blah, blah, blah. And if there's a month starting with that letter, if the letter is A, for example, we will write month name, the name starting with an A. I'm not sure if we have any. August, right? We have, sorry for a second, I couldn't be able to remember that month. Okay. So I will start. If, oh, I'm sorry, we haven't taken the letter from user. So first, before starting with if, I need to take the letter from user. If you want to take a data from user, we should follow 3 steps. Scanner, scan, new scanner, system.in. I feel like an artist right now. So please enter a letter and let's store it somewhere. Integer char. This is a oh, not integer. This is only one character, so we can use char. The name of this data will be this, and I will take it from user. Scan dot next dot chariot 0. You know, chariot 0 means take the first letter, whatever user enters. Of course, if it has a different purpose, but we are going to learn it after a few lessons, I think. We could be able to take it from user and it's stored here. We are saving it for next code. If, you know, what's the first month, January, and I think, oh, January, June, July, all of them are starting with the same letter. If char equals to lowercase, which one should I use here? Because if it is equal to lowercase, we will do something. But what happens if user enters a capital? So I can also use say it here to char equals to. Of course, we are trying to set the char, so I should have used single quotes. Yes, I have 2 operators here. The first one is or I can use and. If I use and, to be true, both of them should be true. But I know that char cannot be cannot be 2 different characters at the same time. So it should be or. If one of them is correct, if statement will be executed. So let's print the names January, June, July. Yes, starting with this letter, we have 3 months. I will copy it and paste here. If it is F, lowercase, capital, we will write February. That's all. And I will paste again. And the next letter is M. If it is lowercase m or capital M, we will write merge. And we have another one. March. Again, if it is A, lowercase or capital, we will print August. I think we have another one. I was checking from the other screen. This way it's much more easier. And we have S now. If lowercase or capital, it will be September. We have also O for October, you know. Oh, I have pressed 0. We have only a few November and December, and it will be completed. November. And December. Finally, last one. Not that one, the December. It should work. Let's try. I hope you could be able to understand why I have used or symbol here. If I had used AND operator, both of them should be through at the same time. But it is impossible. User can enter only one letter. It can be equal to both of them. So OR means if it is equal to this, and if it is equal to, or if it is equal to this, do this. We have two different ways to execute this code. If one of them is true, it is more than enough to execute this code, the body of if statement. Let's run it. I want to enter L. Oh, nothing happened there. What is that? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have executed from here. It went to the previous question. Okay, it says present L. Nothing happened because we did not write any code for L. If we enter L, it checks all of them and it does nothing. At the end, there is nothing. Let's try to run it one more time. And this time I will enter another letter, capital. Oh, it's working, right? It could be able to print all the months starting from the entered letter. I want to use a lowercase a, for example. It works. It doesn't matter what our user enters. It will check all the months and will proper answer. So thank you very much, and we will continue after 10 minutes. We will have a top quiz, so get ready. 10 minutes is starting now. Hello again. I hope you are well. I want to I want you to enter a quiz. I will give you 1 minute for each one of them. But please give me a second until I handle the task. We are going to review what we have learned until now. Oh, I think I heard something. Did I? No, I did not. Okay. A second, please. I'm preparing the quiz. Okay, there's a problem here. Here I could be able to find it. Okay. For a second, I couldn't be able to find it. So, we have learned a lot of things today, and until today, sorry. And it's very important to use them. I'm always saying that, but I'm not sure if you are solving the questions. As we're ready, final score. Okay, it's ready. Now I will open it here. After this one, I can also solve it. It will be open for a long time. Madden 8603. Name can be anything, Tyler. Okay, the question is, I will give you a few seconds to solve it yourself. And if you got the answer, please, you can use Zoom channel, or you can write it from the Slack channel too. Approximately, you have 1 minute. During that time, of course, you can ask any question. So what's the answer? Did you be able to find it? Can you tell me? No, okay. Let me solve it. Here we have created scanner object. That's a normal procedure, and we are informing user, enter your name. In the third one, whatever user enters, we are storing it in a string data named name. But here, user used next. To store a string data, there were two different methods, next and next line. The first one takes only the first word user enters. The second one takes all the line. Here, this one will take on the first word user enters. And here in the next one, it will print the name. It says user enters Ali John. And because of the next comment, it will only store Ali, and it will print Ali to the screen. It doesn't matter what user enters after the space, because next won't take them, it won't save them to the name. Okay, Next question comes. I hope you got this one. If you cannot be, please tell me. If I couldn't be able to explain it, please tell me. I will try to explain it from different angle. So I cannot say the microphone movements. Let's continue to the next question. It says, what is auto widening? And you have your minute. So do you have an answer? Auto widening, it was all about buckets. Byte has a small bucket capacity, I mean. An integer has a big one, big capacity integer. It's very easy to pour all the water from small to big one. No matter how much it is filled, big one can store it. But if I try to the opposite, this is a big one. So if I start pouring the water to this little guy, it won't be able to store all of it if it is full. This side, this part, when you try it, it will be completed, processed automatically. Because of that, it's called auto widening. If you try to this side, integer to byte, you have to force the system. And because of that, it is called narrowing, implicitly narrowing. So let's check the questions, options now. If you assign a small data type, small to a large data type variable, yes, it is auto widening. And it will be Java automatically converts a small data type to large data type. Okay, this seems like a right choice. This process is called auto widening. This is correct. What about this one? It says if you try to assign large data type to small. No, Java, this is not called auto widening. It's implicitly narrowing, I think. What about this one? Assign a variable to a boolean data type to a variable char. No, it's not something like that. The right answer is A. The next question comes, and it's waiting for your answers. You have approximately 1 minute for this one, just like others. No, I'm not going to stop talking. It's up to you now. Small to big bucket. Waiting is very hard, I think it's enough waiting. Let's try to solve it. We will try to find which following options are plural. There might be more than one right answer here, called auto widening. Okay, small to big bucket. Long, this is a long 3, 2, 3, 4, okay. The number O. And answer comes, and Ramazan says B. Is it the only one? There might be more than one right answer here. D is correct, yes. But there's another correct one. Where it is? Do you know where it is? I know. And yes, it is D. B and D are the right answers. Let me try to explain why. This is long, and number one is a long data type, and we are trying to convert it to short. Long has big capacity, short is like this. You cannot pour all the water from it to that. So it is not auto widening. Actually, this is not explicit implicit narrowing because if you want to do it, you have to force Java. It is not forced here. Let's check this one. The first one is integer, and second one is also integer. We are not doing any widening or narrowing. Both of them have same capacity because both of them are integer data types. And okay, what about B? Byte number one is a byte, and I am trying to convert it to integer. Byte to integer. Perfect answer. Byte to short. Yes, short is not as big as integer, but it is bigger than byte. It will be true too. We have two right answers here. B and D. Thank you very much, Ramazan. Explicit narrowing, the opposite. You have 1 minute. That's right. Thank you very much. C and D. Perfect answer. Integer and integer, it is no auto widening or explicit narrowing. Byte to integer. When we do it byte to integer, it's called auto widening, and we do not need to force it. So it is not true too. Short, we have a short value, and we are trying to turn it to byte. Short to byte. And we have to force Java, and this is how we force it. We need to write the type we are trying to convert to. It's correct. Long to short. Long is the long has a very big capacity, very high capacity, and we are trying to put everything to short. It's something like this, and we are forcing it, so it's also correct. We have two options here, which are correct. Let's continue. Another question, we have a double number. Number one is double, and we are trying to force it to integer. Which of following code screen output? Well, this is a little hard, right? No, it is not. It's up to you. Clock is ticking. An answer came. Oh, no, it was very close, but not correct. So let's check it now. We have a double number, and we are trying to convert it to integer. The way was correct. Integer value cannot store decimal units, but Java do not round to number. If it is like this, it just deletes the rest. So ATM will be left alone at the left side of the comma. And because of that, we will see 18 on the screen. The important part, Java does not rounding, it just print the value. Because of that, 18 is the correct answer. This one, we have integer price, and which of following options are true, it says. Okay, it's your time. Options, they might be more than one right answer. And answer came C and B. That's correct. You know it. Thank you. C and B. When we write it like this, if there are double quotes, it means we want to print directly as it is. It will print price instead of value of it. So it is not correct. This one, when you try to print price by using single quotes, system won't accept it because single quotes means you are trying to print a chart. It can only store one character, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters here, so it won't accept it. When we check B, we are trying to print the price, directly price, and there are no double quotes here, so it will print the value of it. It's correct. If I try to print it by using double quotes, it will print the whatever inside of it. Price it is, and it will print it. B and C are right answers here. Question 7 is coming. Which of following options are true for next and next line? So, okay, I was just about to answer. There might be more than one answer. Let me check. Next takes the string up to the first space character. For example, you have entered Ali John. If you use next, it will take only the first word. It means whatever you write onto the first character, it will be stored. So it's correct. Next line gets all the string in the line user entered. If you use next line, it will take all the line. So it's also correct. Next is used for chart data types. No, it's not. Next dot chart 0 is used for chart data types. This is all about chart. This is all about string. This is the string user will enter it, and this method I will take first. I'm sorry. This method will take the first character, so it is not right. Next and next line do the same thing. No, they do not. And we have two right answers, A and B. If you have any question, you may ask, of course. I will gladly answer them. Next question is coming. 8. We have 11. It says which of following is wrong. It may take longer than others, so it is yours. You will have 2 minutes for this one. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's try to solve that. Oh, we have an answer. Oh, yes, by all, none. None of them is wrong. It's correct. Let's check it now. Integer number is 11. And we are trying to say numbers equals to number minus 2. When you see equation like this, if you remember, we have to calculate the right side of it, then we have to assign it to the number. 11 plus 11 minus 2 is 9. So number is 9. When I try to add, when I use it like this, it means add 3 to the number. When I add 3, it will become 12. Minus minus means minus 1, it will be 11. Directly, we have tried to print the value of the number. So it's correct. It will print, last value of the number is 11, it will print 11. Here, we have a number. And number at first it's 11. So 11 plus 2, it will be 13. Minus minus means decrease the value by 1. 12. Another minus minus, it will be 11. So last value of the number is 11. It will print 11. Another correct answer. Here, number is 11 from here. I need to add 3 to it. It will be 14. Another 2, 16. Minus minus 15. Oh, I'm sorry. And it says it will print 15 because the last value is 15. It will print 15. All of them are correct. None of them is wrong. It's asking for the wrong one. None. Let's continue. Next question is coming. It says which one of the wrong to increase the value of variable by 1. Which one is wrong? Actually, this is an easy question, but at the same time, it's a little hard to answer. And answer came. So you say B is the wrong one. No, actually, yes, B is the wrong one. Because when we write it like this, instead of increasing the value, actually we are assigning 1 to the number. So this does not increase the value by 1. Professional writes it like this. Or you can use those options too. All of them do the same thing, but this is the wrong one. Okay, let's continue. We have another question. What's the secret output of the above program? That was fast. You say C. I'm not sure. Let's check it together. We have number 12 and 15. I'm multiplying number 1 by 2. It will become 24. And here I'm dividing number 2 by 3. It will become 5. And when I try to find some of those numbers, yes, it will be C, 29. Next question. Elder long, the screen output of above program is the same as which of following options? Oh, We have an output here, and which one has the same output with the question? There might be more than one answer, I think, because I can select more than one. Oh, options, okay. An answer came B and C, he says. I'm not so sure. Let's check them all. Here we have 12. Minus means 11. If we will decrease the value by 1. Minus 10. Minus 9. Sorry for that. So output will be 9. We have number 11, and minus equal means we need to decrease the value by 3, and it was 12 here, it will be 9. This is same output. This is correct. Number is 12. When I decrease the value by 3, it will be 9. Another correct answer. This one, it is minus. You know, you cannot use minus 3. We can only use minus to decrease the value by 1. If you want to decrease the value by 3, you have to use it like this. So this is wrong. You cannot calculate it like this. We have 2 options here. It is right answers are A and B. And it is. We got 100 points from this test. So without this station, I can continue solving the questions. Let's do that. I will go back to the slide and continue from there. We have solved this question. It wasn't a very hard one, I know. But we are going to have hard questions, don't worry. Yes, the next question is coming in a few seconds. Don't worry, I will find it. Yes, we have solved those questions. I will check the slide. So we have solved this question, and question 3 is also solved. Age, you can retire. We did it. But let's solve this question with if-else statement. I believe we haven't solved it with if-else statement. Oh, we did. Sorry. Ask the user to enter a character, print whatever entered character is uppercase or not. Oh, we did solve this one too. The last one. Ask the user for a letter. If the entered character is lowercase, print it in uppercase. Oh, otherwise print the entered letter. This is better. Let's solve this one. But you know, to solve a question, first you need to understand it. It says, ask the user for a letter. If the non-entered character is a lowercase, we need to change it to uppercase. We are talking about one character, so it should be a char instead of string. That's the key point. I will share the question from the Zoom channel, and I will try to solve it. Another question comes. CO6 if else questions. And the question is we have three steps here. First, we will get a letter from user. If the entered letter character is a lowercase, until this part, we do know how to do it. Print it in uppercase as uppercase. Otherwise, print the entered number. We have four steps. Let's start with what we know. And when you start, things will come to your mind. Just start coding with what you know, and the rest will come to you. It always happens that way, believe me. So we will get a letter from user. Scanner, scan, new scanner system.in. Let's inform user. Start, please enter a character. Let's start. We want to take a character, so I have to use it like this. Scan dot next dot char 0. If you don't write char 0, you cannot store it. Let's try. When I do it like this, as you can see, it's complaining. It says, I require a char, but you are providing string data type. I have to write char 0 here. Okay, now I could be able to get the character from user. Now, if it says, if the entered character is a lowercase, we are talking about the character. It means we have to use ASCII table. I haven't closed it. No, it's not the right one. Oh, we did not. Question is, it says, if the character is a lowercase, I mean, the value of character should be between 97 and 122. If the entered character's value is between those values, it's a lowercase. I'm really sorry. I couldn't get better. I don't know why. If char is higher than or equal to a, and at the same time, oh, what's the problem here? Oh, of course, I'm sorry. Char, the entered value is written like this. We have used this name. And charge at the same time should be lower or equal to z value. If it is between those letters, it means it's a lowercase. How will we print it as an uppercase? Let's say user entered D here. It's a lowercase, so it is between those letters. How can I turn it to a capital? Actually, it's very easy. This is A, and the one is 97. And the capital's value is 65. When I do the calculation, there are 32 difference between them. It is same for others too, because order is same and letters are same letters. If I talk about the N, the value is 110, the capitals N is 78. When I do the math, the result is 33. It means if I, these values 100, if I use minus 33, it will give me the capital D's value, which will be 67. Yes, it is, as you can see, I found it. I will use this logic. If I want to turn it to, if I want to if I want to turn it to capital, I should subtract 32 from the letters value. What's that? Of course, it won't be enough. We have to add something to it. But let's start. So, if I use char minus 33, it will give me the value of the capital letter. Okay, let's enter n. Oh, sorry, wrong class. I should run it from here. Now it's the right one. Please enter a character n. Oh, it gave me a number, 78. If I check the ASCII table, 78, 78, here it is. And actually it's working, but I saw the value of it. Yes, it made the math, but I should turn it to a character. I could be able to find the number, but I have to force Java to print it as a character. You know, we have to force Java to cast it. This is a number, and I want to turn number to a char character. It's very easy. We have learned how to do it, but we haven't used it before. So let's do that. I will write it between normal brackets, and I will force Java to write it as a char. You know, this is the casting. I'm turning a number to character. Let's run it one more time. And I would use same letter now, but instead of 78, we will see the number. Because I'm sorry, we will see the letter. Because we are turning number to character time. Voila! I did it without any problem. I could be able to turn a number to character data type, char data type. Do you have any question about this one? Otherwise, I will continue from here. Okay, no questions. So, if the entered character is lowercase, we did here. Print it in uppercase. Okay, it's covered. Otherwise, print the entered letter. Otherwise means else. Else, it says print the letter. Just print it. So, char. We did it. That's all. I will enter a capital N. It did. Printed, printed it without changing. If I enter lowercase n, lowercase, it did change it to a capital. So it's very easy. The critical point was casting it to a char here, casting the number to char. The other parts, you should be able to understand the logic to change a character to a capital, the number I mean, minus 33. And the other parts were easy. You have learned them. So, okay, that's all for this question. Let's try to solve another one, if I can find a question, of course. I believe we have solved all of those questions. Okay, I will try to solve another question from here. New CO7 if else questions. But as I told you before, you have to solve all those questions yourself. And you should try not to look at the solution, but of course you can always pick. Don't worry. It's okay to look at the questions, but still you should try to solve it without looking. I will write the question. Take a number from user. If it is negative, print wrong number. If it has one digit, if it has one digit, print digit. If it has otherwise, print big number. This is a very simple logic. We will take a number from user. If it is something, we will do something. If it is not, we will do something else. And otherwise, we will do another thing. But before that, let's go back to the slide and cover a few new topics, and we will try to solve that question. Yes, sometimes we encounter a lot of different options. For example, if is a fork in coding, this is the if, and there might be a lot of if, another if, and actually code works like this. There are a lot of if statements, and according to what you choose, code will go different place. If you have enough time, money, if you have enough time, if you are in the right position, if it goes on that like this. Of course, sometimes there are places creates out of different roads, different that whatever we select, execute different line. But for now, we have only 4 if else statements. But when you have if and another if, I like this, you will need to use a different thing. Because until now, we have used if like this and another if like this. They weren't connected. It's very important. If you use out of different ifs in the coding, they will do different things according to statements, but they won't be connected. To create this kind of ifs, or we have a different way to do it. So we will learn it now. Yes. Sometimes options may be more than one. Perhaps there are 2 options or more than 2. In this kind of situations, one if-else clause statement will not solve the problem. For example, let's try to understand this question. Student has a mark or grade, whatever you say. If it is higher than 65, student will have A. If not higher than 65, but if it is higher than 85, 65, it is BB. If it is not higher than 65, but higher than 50, student will get CC. Let me explain it like this. Mark. If the mark is 50, how will our code decide that? If I use a lot of if statements, for example, if mark is higher than 65, if another if mark is higher than 65, if mark is higher than 50. When it's like this, when I enter 85, first code will come here. It will check, is mark is higher 55? Let's make it 56. Yes, it is. So it will print AA. Then it will come here. Again, it will check, is mark is higher than 65? Yes, it is. So it will print BB. And then it will come here. Is mark is higher than 50? Yes, it is. So it will say CC. And as you can see, a student cannot have more than one grade at the same time. So something is wrong here. Somehow, if it is higher than 60, if it is higher than 65, I shouldn't check other conditions. So it means user as 65, I mean AA. If that's the case, this situation, if statements cannot do the job, somehow they should be connected. If the first one is right, I shouldn't check others. If the second one is right, let's say first one is not right, and user has got 7th point. Mark is not higher than 70. Is it higher than 65? So user should get BB. And the system should not check the last one. If it checks it, it will give CC, so it shouldn't check it. If one of if statements is correct, the system should not continue. Because of that, we will use a different statement. It's very easy, actually. It's like this. Instead of if, we will use else if. If this is not correct, if the condition is not correct, if it's not correct, check this one. Again, if both of them are not correct, check this one. If all of them are not correct, please do the other ones. I mean, write this one. I hope I could be able to explain if else statement. I want to tell it one more time in a short version. If the statement, if this one is correct, it won't check others because it is else if. If it is not true, check that too. Please also check this one. If it is not true, it will check it. If it is true, don't worry. There's no other option because the first one is true. Hey, go your home. And it will be the order for that. Nothing will be executed. It will only print your grade is A. If the student's grade is higher than 85, it will this grade, this table, this statement will be true. So it will print this. And others shouldn't be executed. I don't want to see BBCC to my screen, so it will be like this. Oh, this is wrong. This should be CC. If it is higher than 65, of course, this will be false. If your mark is 65, this will be false. It means if it is false, check that. This one is true, right? 65, it is true. So the rest won't be executed. It will only print this. Because first one is also already false, second one is true. It will print this and it will print the rest. And it will continue like that. Okay, let's continue after the break time. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you after 10 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Let's try to solve those questions. We will start with this one. Get the gender and the age from the user. Female, 6 years old and over, higher. A male, 65 years old and older can retire. Okay, we have two different things here. We have to check the gender and age. If the gender or age is not enough for the retirement, we will say you need to work for blah blah more years to retire. That's the question. Let's try to solve this one. I will find the question and I did. Let's solve it. I will share it from the chat channel. Okay. This time CO8, if else, if else if statements. If else if statements. I cannot find. That's the class main method. And the question, it's a long one. Let's make it shorter. Get gender and age from the user. Okay. Female, 6 years old and older. Male, 65 years old and older can retire. Print you can retire. Or you need to work blah blah years more years to retire. That's not an option. So let's start with the simple one. We have a user, we are going to ask gender and age. There are different things for us to use here, but I will use for gender. We will use letter male or male, and for the age, yes, we are going to take it by using integer. So we have to take gender and age. Let's do them. Scanner scan new scanner system dot in. Please inform users. So please enter your gender or male, female. Let's start. This will be a char gender scan dot next dot char at 0, to store char, and we will take the age. So please enter your age. And we can store it in a integer scan dot next int. Okay, I have all the data I require. Female, if the user is a female and if she is older than 60 years, it means she can retire. If gender equals to female, and at the same time, age should be higher than 65, right? Age should be higher than or equal to 65. If this is correct, she can retire. So you can retire. If this statement is not correct, I want to check another one. Instead of using another if here, I will use if else. I can solve this question by using a lot of different if statements. But if you connect them, if it is true, system won't check others because we are using else if. If it is not correct, then check that condition. Else if the gender is still F and but if the age is lower than 65. You know, oh, what's the wrong here? Oh, there's no quotation. If the gender is female and the age is lower than 65, we will do something else. We will print salt. What's the unit to work retire? And we need to calculate this part dynamically, so I will make it like this. Whatever I write here, it will be written between the text. And I want to print, oh, females age are 60, right? They can retire at 60. 60 minus age. If she's 30 years old, if she enters 30th age and the female, this one won't be true because this will be false. Age is not higher than 60, this will be false. So the second statement condition will be checked. Still gender is F. When we check the age, it is lower than 60, it is also true. So this code will be executed. Unit to work plus 6 minus 30, it is 30. You need to work 30 more years to retire, it will print. Okay. Still, if this statement is not correct, it means user entered a different gender. Else if all of them are not correct, please check this theory. If the gender is male, and at the same time, age should be higher than 60. I will equal 60. I'm sorry, 65. For males, retirement starts at 65. If it is like this, you will write you can retire. So you can retire. If all of them are wrong, if all the conditions are wrong, else if the gender is still male, and at the same time, age is lower than 65, it means even though we have a male here, but this means he is younger than 65. He has to work more. So I will this one. But for male, it is 65. But still, if it is still wrong, let's add else. If all of them are wrong, we will write sort invalid enter. So let's run it. I think that much is enough. We have covered all the genders and ages. When I run it, it should work. Okay, male, 39. Oh, I have long years in front of me. But it's working. But yes, it's correct. If we talk about a female with the same age, oh, she's luckier than me. She has to work less than me. Let's say I'm 70 years old, male, 70 years old. It works, says you can retire. This worked because this system has taken the first character, which was M. It didn't take the numbers. So system understood that I'm a male. What about females? Uh, as testers, we have to cover all the options. Age is 70, okay, you can retire. Let's check the limits. 65, can retire. Female 60. This is the limit. You can retire. What happens if she was 59? Female 59. Oh, okay, it's working. I think that much forcing enough. It is working. We can of course add another condition here, for example. If you want to add another one, you can say and age should be higher than 15. I have added another one. I can add same thing here. It will also check if age is higher than 15. You can add as many as you want. It doesn't change anything. I mean, of course, system will check it. I just meant that it won't broke anywhere. System will continue working. So I will test the age. I am, let's say, female, and I am 10 years old. Invalid entry, as you can say. If everything is wrong, if all the statements are wrong, this will work. You can write anything here. I just entered invalid enter, but it does not matter. If all the statements between normal brackets after the if statements, if all of them are wrong, this else code body will be executed. Okay, hope I could be able to explain. So let's continue. Let's try to solve another one. If you have any question, please ask me without any hesitation. No, okay. As for the user's weight, kilogram, and height, centimeter, calculate the body mass index. Oh, we will be talking about body index, okay. And weight multiplying product 10,000. Hey, I need to calculate the square of it. If the body mass index is greater than 30 of S, I don't want to see that. Between 25, 30 over, right? Okay, between 20, 25. It's very hard for me to be normal. Less than 20 printing. And that's for sure I'm not this. Let me copy the question and try to solve it. You know, first we need to understand the question. That's the most important thing, if you ask my opinion. C09, if else, if statements. Main method, the question. It's a long one. Let's make it shorter. And if between between. As you can see, all of them are connected. First, we will ask two different data from user, kilogram and centimeter. Then we will calculate the index, body mass index. We have a formula here. We will use it according to according to this formula. If it is, I'm sorry. If it is greater than 30, I will say obese. And you can see the values. We will check all of them. They are connected. If the user is obese, he or she cannot be others. So these if statements should be connected to each other. If, else, if, else, if, else, if, else, this one. Step by step. Let's take the user values. Scanner, scan, name scanner system.in. Then sort, please enter your weight. Let's write kilogram. Then I need to store whatever user enters here. Integer kilogram. We can use double two, perhaps. User will enter I am 26, 23,6 kilogram. Okay, let's use double here. Double equals to scan dot. Until now we have used the next int, but we want to receive double now, so I should use next double. And the high sort please enter your just a centimeter. Double, not two, sorry. Double, it is equals to scan next double. Okay, we have all the data we require. We need. So the next one, let's calculate the formula. I will create another double, and the name will be body mass index. And somehow I should calculate this. You know, as you can see, we have only multiplication and division math calculations. So we do. It is not important where we write what, because there is no priority here. Still, I will use the normal brackets. I prefer using like this. Whatever I write here will be divided by this one. So weight times 10,000, which will be divided by 8 times 5. It's okay. We could be able to calculate body mass index. According to this value, we will create these if statements. If it is higher than 30, if body mass index is higher than 30, greater than 30, we will print something. Salt, what? Okay, obese. Else if, as I told you, they should be connected, so you should write else if. Second condition, if it is between 25 and 30. Yes, we have to tell if the data is between those numbers, you have to set two different conditions. If body mass index is lower than 30, you know, if it is not higher than 30, it will be lower than 30, right? If it was higher than 30, it would be calc here. the system will catch it here. If it was higher than 30, it will be catched here. The system would catch it here. So if body mass is higher than 25, we will write something else. So over, okay. Over is good. Else if body mass index higher than 20, I think it was 20. It is between 20 and 25. You know, if it is not higher than 30 or if it is not higher than 25, it means it is lower than 25, right? As long as it is higher than 20, the result will be between 20 and 25. Let's write something here. It says normal, okay. Result normal. The last one, else situation. If all of them are not correct, else we will print something else. So that's the code. Let's run it. I will write my numbers. 85. Okay, but it did not give me the index. Perhaps I'm very close to normal. I'm not sure. I will also print the index here. So your mass index is plus body mass index. And let me try it again. But it should be calculated differently for man and woman, I think. Oh, I shouldn't seen that. I shouldn't see that. I should be being seen that. Yes, I was close to above. I'm very close to above. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as I'm not obese. I don't mind it. So if we have any volunteer, I can enter your weight and number here if you want. I think we do not have any volunteer. So let's continue. If you have any question about those questions, please, without any hesitation, ask me them. I would love to answer those questions. Really, it would make me happy if there was some question here. Now, okay, let's try to solve another one. Get the number of product from the user and the list price. Oh, it's an interesting question. And ask user if they have customer ID, customer card, sorry. If the customer has a card and buys more than 10 items, 20% off, otherwise 15% off. If the customer does not have a card, 15% off. If he buys more than 10 products, 10% off if he does not. Let's solve the question 4. I do not like this one. Of course, we are going to solve that too, but it's a little more complicated than I thought. So let's solve question 4. Okay, question 4. It is much more easier than the question 3. See, can, if, else, if statements. Main method, and the question is coming. Question a long one, okay, shorter than Question 3. If blah 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 blah, otherwise blah blah. I think this should be here. Okay. We will get a distance value from user in kilometers. Okay. And we will ask the unit he wants, user wants to convert to. For example, it is in kilometer, but perhaps user wants to convert it to meters or decimeters. I don't know, centimeters. If the unit user wants to wants is meter or centimeter, convert and print it. Okay, we have two options. A user can convert it to meter or centimeter, and if it is what he asked, we will do that. Otherwise means else. Print blah blah blah. Step by step. Let's start from here. Scanner. Scan. New scanner system. .in. Then sort up. Sort. Please enter the distance in kilometer. User will enter it. Let's store it in a double kilometer equals to scan dot next double. Okay, I did it. I saved the distance from user. Let me change the name. I think it's better. Distance in kilometer. Okay, the naming is very important in coding. If you cannot understand what a variable is for, when you read it after 2 weeks, it means you have to improve your naming. It's very clear. You have to improve your name. Okay, we got the distance. Now we will ask which unit user wants to convert it to. Let's inform user, and we are going to ask which blah blah he wants to convert it to. If user enters meter, we will convert it to meter. If it is centimeter, we will convert it to centimeters. But before that, we have to ask user, and according to answer, we should store the answer, and according to that answer, we should create a form. If it is meter, we will convert the kilometer to meter. If it is centimeter, we will do it. So, please select the unit you want to convert to. Meter or centimeter. You have only 2 options here. And I need to save it, right? Whatever user enters here, I need to know it in the coding. According to that, I will do something else. Or I can use a number here. It will be better. Let's use numbers for M. Press 1. 4 centimeter, press 2. If user want to turn it to convert it to meter, user will press 1. If it is centimeter, user will press 2. Okay, we have integer now. I need to save it. Integer selection will be taken from user. Whatever user enters here, it will be saved under this name. If user entered 1, selection equals to 1, we will multiply distance by 1000, right? Distance, let's print it. So distance times 1000 plus meter. If user did not answer selected 1, and selection is if it is equal to 2, the multiplicated number is not, this number will change, of course. So distance times 1000, 100,000, I think, and I will add centimeter after that. It will write the number, then it will add centimeter at the end of it. Okay. Otherwise, I need to enter something else. Else, if the selection is not 1 or 2, it means we do not have that conversion ability. We cannot convert it to other units. And we have to print this one if it is not recorded. Else, not that one. So this. I think it's okay. It should work. I have covered all the steps. Okay, here it is. Student user wants, print it. Here it is. Otherwise, is also here. Else. Let's run the code. Actually, we have started to create something. I think you can see that. It is 25 kilometer, 250 kilometer. I want to turn it to meter. As you can see, this is the number. It is correct. If I wanted to change it to centimeter, let's do that. I want to turn it to centimeter here. It says for centimeter, press 2. Oh no. We couldn't be able to print it. It should have. Okay, I don't know why, but it couldn't be able to print it. If I use different number here, 200, for example, 2, it writes it like this. I do not know why. It means it has 7 zeros, I think. Interesting, really interesting. Let me check it for a second. If I delete this part, perhaps it's because of that. Now it's using a different number. First, I will cast it to integer to be sure. Integer. Or if it does not work, oh, it says something. Oh, of course. I will try to cast it to double 2. If this does not work. Oh, it's working as you can see. If I force it to be a double, I want to check it one more time. We are testers, we should test everything. Yeah, it is just good. we won't be able to see the system in a spot. Don't worry. If it's working, don't touch it. And it seems like it's working now. Okay. As you can see, easily we can create a system, and we can also create complex systems by using these statements. Yes, of course, we have a long way in front of us, but as you can see, we can do it. We were trying to write hello words in the first day, and we have learned a lot of different things until now. But right now, actually, we have started coding. We have started writing coding, as you can see. According to conditions, our code is acting differently. And that's very important if you ask me. Okay, let's try to solve this question 3. I think we do not have enough time, but perhaps a miracle may happen, and we can solve it in time. I will copy it slowly. Then I will create another class for it. C11 if else if statements. This question is a little hard. Actually, I do not prefer solving it, but it's a good question. There's a great logic. So, we'll change it a little. Question 3. Get the number of products purchased from the user. For example, a user is buying 10 TVs, and the list price, it is 100 USD. I don't know, it's not like that. 100 USD. And we should ask user if the user has the customer ID. We should enter the number of the products, the price, and customer ID. So we have 3 answers here. These are entered values. If the customer has a card and buys more than 10 items, as you can see, we have 2 conditions. Like gender and age, it's very same. Just like the retirement question, we have 2 different conditions, and we will use AND operator to set these options. If the customer has card and buys more than 10 items, blah, blah, blah. Let's start from the first one. We will get data from user. Okay, let's see from user. Please enter number of products. Then number of products. And user will enter number, of course, we will save it. Integer number of products. Then dot next integer. Okay, we did take first one. The next one. List price. So please enter the list price. integer list price will be taken from user next step. And now we should have, we should ask if customer has the card. Start if you have card, customer card, press 1. Otherwise, press 0. And let's store it. Integer customer card. Then dot next int. If user enters 1, it means customer ID card will be 1, and he will be able to receive a little more discount. We have taken all the data from user. This is the statement. If the customer card has a card, if the customer has a card and buys then more than 10 items, just like the retirement question, I need to set 2 conditions: card and number of items. If customer card equals to 1, if it is 1, it means customer has the card, and at the same time, the number of products should be higher than 10. Number of products should be higher than 10. If it is like this, customer will take 20% off. To calculate that, first I need to calculate the price, right? I'm sorry. Now I have to calculate the price, then I will calculate the final price. I know the price list. I have taken it from customer. I know it is not very trustworthy, but we coders think everybody is well trustworthy. So I know the list price. I know how many user bought from the company. Where it is? Here it is. So I can find the final price. Integer final price is. Let's create it before the if. Integer final price. I will make it 0 for now, and I will use it here now. I will do the multiplication. The number of products times price list. This price. This is the final price without discount. And if I multiply it by 0.8, it will be a discounted number. Oh, what's the problem? Okay. Oh, of course, final price should be double. Sorry for that. It works. That's the first one. Second condition, if a customer has the card but buys less than 10 items, we will give 15% off discount. Else, if it is not correct, I will do something else. If user still has the customer card and number of products is lower or equal to 10, I will do something else. I will do 15% off. Okay, final price is very similar. Only the last number will change. 85. This will be more expensive than this one. The next one, if the customer does not have the ID card, and 50%. If the user buys more than 10 products, even though user does not have the card, he will get 15%. Okay. Another else if this time customer does not have customer ID, customer card. Sorry, but still number of product is higher than, if it is higher than 10, we will give 15% off, and it will be the same with this one. Even though this one has customer ID, this customer, I will receive the same value. Else if the customer does not have the card, equals to 0, and at the same time, number of products is less than 10. Less or equal. It will still, there's an off here, 10%. Okay, I will copy paste and I will make it 10% off. What's the problem here? If the customer card equals to 0, number of products can't understand what's the problem here. Oh, of course, I'm saying else. I'm sorry, else if. Of course, I do not need to write else if there's a statement, if there's a condition, I should write else if. I have forgotten to write if. For a second, I couldn't be able to see that. So, if he has nothing, still user will get 10% off. It is user's lucky day. Let's do that. It says number of products. I want to buy 20 of them. List price is 100 USD, and I have my card. Oh, at the end we haven't printed the final price. So if you don't print it, it will be nothing. Final price is plus final price. Let's do it one more time. It's getting late here. I know, same for everybody. 100. Oh, I want to buy 20 of them. Price is 100 USD, and I have the card. It says 1,600, and it is being calculated from here. If I do the math calculation, I will buy 20 of them, and each one of them is 100 USD. The total price was 2,000. If they do 20% discount, it will be 1,600, as you can see. Okay, I think it's working without any problem. If you have any problem, we can check it tomorrow. Thank you very much for today. I hope to see you tomorrow. We will continue from here. Good night.